Testing. 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 Hey, hear that?
Yeah, sure.
Test. And it does it on King's too. Test. you just turn it off?
I put it on this part, but I don't think it's supposed to. I think it's supposed to be on here. But I put it on that part, but I don't know.
Test.
Cause it's not coming out of there now.
Oh, that at all? Like there's no sound coming out of it. Yeah. It's weird.
Cause you don't need sound to come out of here.
Yeah, it shouldn't,
Yeah,
right?
Right. So we can.
Jose, can you hear me now? Hi.
We found out there's a type error in the page on the page 4. And it was 2045, should be 2024. So we consult our CCU, contract control unit, and they say bring a copy of the correct.
You
Yes.
changed it.
Yeah, we
Okay.
change it.
Was that the
This is the same one that. Is someone, Jose or Jessica, are you able to come on and say something? Jessica, can you like unmute yourself and say hi on the Zoom? I just want to make sure that Jessica's on the Zoom. No. Yeah, you can call in.
Five, 4, 5, 8, 2.
Welcome to Zoom for Government. Enter your meeting ID followed by Hello?
Perfect. We can hear you. Is that you, Jessica?
Okay, great. Yeah, it's me.
Okay. Thank you so much.
No problem. Okay.
Yeah. Okay. So hopefully,
Test. But you want me to show you what happens? Yeah, what? Test. Test. What?
Seem like if you turn this one off, this one automatic off.
What do you mean?
See?
Yeah.
It's one the other.
Yeah.
Should not be related. should not be
What do you want me
the
to
live
do?
one. Turn it on and off.
I can't, if I press it, nothing happens.
Okay, that's fine because it's not go to connect that. Can you try again?
Test.
Is it considered normal?
Test.
It's okay.
Yeah, because we that's what fixed. It's going to be fine. Test.
Good.
Test.
Right, like I said, this one when you turn it on is the camera and mic. Hello, hello. Echo. Okay. So.
Good morning, Audit LA. Are you wishing to make general public comment or multiple agenda item comment?
Good morning. I would like to do both. I mean, all non-agenda and plus agenda items, please.
Thank you.
Yep.
Finding and also solution and recommendation. I do remember I saw the
Good morning, Jill. Jill, are you wishing to make general or multiple agenda item comment this morning? Jill, are you there? Jill, are you wishing to make
Yeah,
general?
public comment, yes.
Thank you. Miriam, are you wishing to make general public comment or multiple agenda item comment today?
Just the general public comment. Thank you.
Thank you. Good morning, President King. We're ready to get started whenever you are.
All right, thank you very much. Good morning, everybody, and welcome back to the regularly scheduled meeting of the Board of Public Works for Wednesday, July 9, 2025. Ms. Matson, please take roll and establish quorum.
Thank you. Good morning, President and board members. I'm Elise Matson with the Board of Public Works, taking roll and establishing quorum. President Kang, Vice President Chavez, President Pro Tem Grant, and Commissioner Mitchell all present. We have a quorum. We're also joined by City Attorney Representative Virginia Choi and myself, Elise Matson, Executive Officer.
Thank you very much. We will now start with the general public comment, which is an opportunity for the public to address the board on public interest items and will be provided up to 1 minute per person, up to a cumulative total of 10 minutes for the general public comment segment of each regular meeting. Testimony shall be limited in content to subject matters which are within the jurisdiction of the Board of Public Works. The board may not take any action on any matters discussed during the public comment period. Ms. Matson, do we have any in-person speaker cards?
We do not. We have about 3 folks on the Zoom platform for general public comment.
Then we will now proceed to our virtual public comment.
Great, thank you. First up, we have Audit LA. Audit LA, you have 1 minute. Go ahead.
Good morning. I'm here to, discuss the same things I've been discussing, but today I want to talk about Scientology security, patrolling and policing L. Ron Hubbard Way and the sidewalks beyond the scope of their special event permits. I understand during their special event permits, I guess they're allowed to have security, interfering or interacting, but they are not, unless there is a city contract. I do not believe they're allowed to do that, and they are. They interfere with people, just regular people going through. They try to stop it. They police. They ask what you're doing, and they are. So I would really like you guys to stop giving them any kind of special event permits until their behaviors are completely in check. They have not been obeying any of their special permits, including the most recent one. They have not. They had one sidewalk they did not have open, so they're not having signs for it being open. They are. I don't believe they're getting any kind of inspection on their tall structures, like their
Thank
big
you.
water
That's time.
things for children. Thank you. Okay.
Next up, we have Jill. Jill, you have 1 minute. Go ahead.
Okay, I'm going to just ditto what Audit just said about the security, and also I'm just going to add about the parking. You need to start charging or getting parking opened up on L. Ron Hubbard Way. They're covering up things in that building still. You need to be probably sending in roving inspections when they have their events. I also suggest that you get the book called Child X by Jamie Mustard. It tells you what happens to the babies, or happened to the babies born into that cult of Scientology, and you would be at horror. It's like a little concentration camp where they warehouse babies and let them sit in their poop for weeks, and they don't bathe them, they don't give them any kind of nurturing, they get failure to thrive. It's like a little baby concentration camp that you had under your nose. You would be horrified. I need you to read that book and you'll see what we're talking about. Bye.
Thank you. Next up, we have Miriam. Miriam, you have 1 minute. Go ahead.
I hope you had a great break. I also want to pick up where you left off from last time, and I actually made a little quiz in case you have forgotten some of the key points. The first question is, which street in LA has been marked with illegal no parking signs for the past 14 years? Ding, 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 ding. Oh, yes, that's correct. L. Ron Hubbard Way. Next question, which street was paved by slave labor, including small children? Ding, 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 ding. Yes, correct. L. Ron Hubbard Way. Third question. Which street is continuously held hostage by Scientology events and blocked from First Amendment protesters by armed security? Ding, 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 ding. Yes, jackpot. L. Ron Hubbard Way. Bonus question. How long term do the Sea Organization, Scientology slave labor department serve? You got that one right too. 1 billion years. Now let's get back to work. Thank you.
Thank you. President King, we have 2 additional hands raised. Shall I check if they'd like to make general public comment?
Yes, please.
Georgina McPhee, are you wishing to make general public comment or multiple agenda item comment this morning?
General public comment, please.
You have 1 minute. Go ahead.
Yeah, can you hear me okay?
Yes, go ahead.
Okay. I am calling in about L. Ron Hubbard Way also. I don't understand why that street isn't accessible to parking for the neighborhood. It's a strange thing to have a whole street dedicated to this church, especially when this church has such known atrocities that are easily researchable. And if this street ends up getting closed off for them, like they're trying to do with this street vacation, that closes off any avenue of escape that the people that are in Scientology that are trying to get out have. That's some of them don't have any access to the public or leaving the facilities at all. This road that they have to cross is their only glimmer of hope of getting out. And to close it off for all these events is ridiculous. To close it off to parking is ridiculous. Have you Googled Maureen Bolstad yet? Have you Googled Lisa
Thank you.
McPherson?
That's time.
Thank you.
Next, we have a speaker, Laura FM. Are you wishing to make general public comment or multiple agenda item comment this morning?
Hi, yeah, just general comment.
You have
comment,
one. You have 1 minute. Go ahead.
Okay. I was born and raised in the cult of Scientology. I've spoken about this before, and I see that a lot of people have jumped on this call to express their experiences dealing with protesting Scientology, and obviously all of their parking meters and their street closures and all this. I want to make it a very big point to the people or anybody allowing Scientology with all these permits This is just a way that Scientology uses, and believe me, from somebody born and raised in this, I know this is something they use to and make it seem like they're here in the city, helping the city with their permits. Yet nobody shows up to these events. The Scientology events are empty. L. Ron Hubbard Way, when they have events there, are empty. They're full of Scientologists, maybe 20 tops people. So please look at what the intentions are with Scientology having and requesting permits constantly on L. Ron Hubbard Way.
Thank you. That's time for today. President Kang, that's it for our general public comments.
Thank you very much. With that, we will close the general public comment portion of today's meeting and move on to multiple agenda item public comment. The board will provide an opportunity for members of the public wishing to speak on more than one agenda item during multiple agenda item period for up to 1 minute per item, up to a total of 3 minutes per meeting. This is the only time to speak on more than one agenda item, and please identify the items you will speak on when you are called. Since we have no in-person speaker cards, we will transition to our virtual platform.
Thank you. We have one caller on our virtual platform. That's Audit LA. You indicated you'd like to speak on all items. You have 3 minutes. Go ahead.
Thank you. First, I want to discuss the bids, putting out bids. And, I've been saying this for a year, that it's really hard for me to fathom that anyone would have to sit there and discuss and beg and plead and try to ask Public Works to make sure that they vet any bid, any company, to make sure there's no slave labor going on, because, and I'm asking for each one of these bids, because, it sounds ridiculous. At first I'd be like, I would think that maybe people are crazy until you start looking at what Scientology does. Okay. So they are absolute proof that there are groups that will get, but they go against the law, but they kind of they say, well, it's a religious exemption. Okay. Well, it's not a religious exemption if you're working on a street. So if they're working on, say, they get a project for L. Ron Hubbard Way, which they do, and they doing all this labor on L. Ron Hubbard Way, that is not a religious experience. Okay, I could see getting maybe labor modifications if they're ministers and doing feeding people in disaster, whatever. I understand that. But when you're talking public works, there's no exemption. So there are groups who profit off the backs of laborers, whether it's their own people that they are controlling, or whether it could be other groups. It's not just Scientology. It's just that Scientology woke me up to this phenomenon, because I had zero idea that this was going on in America in 2025. And I am so happy that we do have a former labor president. I know that I know that this matters to him. I know it matters to the board, but you just may be saying, well, there's none of these companies are going to be doing that. But how do you know? There's a lot of companies owned by Scientology people. They're outside, they're independents or whatever, but they own this. And who knows if they have Sea Org members working for them for $47 a week? They very well could if they're not vetted. And if it's not Scientology, it could be another group who, it's not just, foreign countries like in China or Dominican Republic where there's these sweatshops, okay, and slave labor. It is happening here in America. We need to wake up to it. It needs to stop. And I'm begging you to stop giving permits to ones who do this. And then as far as any of the projects, for tiny homes and all that stuff, I fully support that. But at the same time, I'm asking you with any of these contracts that you do look into and pay attention to the people's money, that you vet everything carefully, make sure
Thank
that
you. That's
everything is
time.
done. Thank you.
President King, that's it for our multiple agenda item commenters today.
Thank you very much. With that, we will close the multiple agenda item public comment portion of today's meeting. And we will move forward with the approval of minutes. But before that, item number 8 has been withdrawn for everybody's awareness. Moving on to our approval of our minutes. Commissioners, any issues related to minutes for Monday, June 23rd, 2025? Seeing none, I'll move to approve minutes for Monday, June 23rd, 2025. Is there a second?
Second.
Seconded by President Pro Tem Grant.
Great. We'll take the roll, beginning with you, President King.
Aye.
Vice President Chavez.
Aye.
President Pro Tem Grant.
Aye.
Commissioner Mitchell. All ayes, and the minutes are adopted.
Thank you very much. Moving on to our agenda item number 1, we have for bids.
Thank you. I'm joined by Matthew Castellanos of the Board of Public Works, who's got our bids. We have 5. First, we have a bid from Griffith Company, and the total bid amount is $9,045,000. I'm going to read the numbers and then the total amount. $9,045,240, which is $9,045,240. And again, that's from Griffith Company. Next up, we have Palp Inc., DBA Excel Paving. Total bid amount $132,684.68, which is $13,268,468 and no cents. Next up, we have Environmental Construction, Inc. Total bid amount is $8,392,954.50. That's $8,392,954.50. Thank you. Next, we have a bid from Green Building Corporation. Total bid amount, $1,142,620.50. That's $11,427,620.50. Thank you. And lastly, we have a bid from Toro Enterprises Incorporated. Total bid amount is $1,102,473 and no cents. It's $11,024,783 and no cents. And those are our bids.
Thank you very much. I'll move to accept the bids for agenda item 1. Is there a second? Seconded by Commissioner Mitchell.
Great. We'll take the roll beginning with you, President Kang.
Aye.
Vice President Chavez. President Pro Tem Grant.
No.
No. And we have Commissioner Mitchell. Aye. 3 ayes, 1 no, and the bids are received, opened, and declared and carry forthwith.
Thank you very much. Moving on to our consent items. Reminder that item number 8 has been withdrawn, so consent item is from 2 to 7 and number 9. Commissioners, any questions or comments before we vote on our consent items? Okay, seeing none, I'll move to approve consent items 2 through 7 and then number 9. Is there a second?
Second.
Seconded by Vice President Chavez and Commissioner Mitchell.
Thank you. We'll take the roll again, beginning with you, President Kang.
Aye.
Vice President Chavez.
Aye.
President Pro Tem Grant.
Aye.
Commissioner Mitchell. All ayes, and the consent items 2 through 7 and 9 are adopted and carry forthwith.
Thank you very much. Moving on to item number 10 from the Bureau of Engineering for Council District 14 for task for solicitation number 100, SOMAS.
Good morning, Commissioners, Executive Officer, City Attorney. My name is Kevin Avila. I'm the Project Manager for Eastern Avenue Multimodal Transportation Improvement Project. We're recommending that the Board of Public Works authorize the City Engineer to issue task order solicitation number 100 to SOMAS for engineering support services on this key corridor improvement in the El Sereno neighborhood. Spanning 1.5 miles between Valley Boulevard and Huntington Drive, this $21 million project includes a complete set of multimodal upgrades, including new sidewalks, protected bike lanes, improved crosswalks, additional pedestrian lighting, upgraded bus stops, newly paved roads, and some public art installations. The corridor connects schools, small businesses, community services, residential areas, and the improvements are designed to increase safety, accessibility, and long-term mobility. The project is funded through the Regional Surface Transportation Program and includes a 20% DBE goal, with SOMAS pledging 33.51% participation. We've held 4 public meetings over the past 4 years, and we will be returning to the community for a final meeting after we receive LADOT's next set of approvals. I'm happy to answer any other questions. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Commissioners, any questions or comments related to item number 10? All right, seeing none. Is there a first and a second?
I'll move.
Second.
First by Vice President Chavez and seconded by President Pro Tem Grant.
Thank you. We'll take the roll beginning with you, President Kang,
Aye.
Vice President Chavez,
Aye.
President Pro Tem Grant,
Aye.
Commissioner Mitchell. All ayes. The report is adopted and carries forthwith.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. Moving on to item number 11 for all council district for the Bureau of Sanitation, request for authority, task order solicitation S-051, Larry Walker Associates.
Good morning, President Kang, Vice President Chavez, President Pro Tem Grant, and Commissioner Mitchell. My name is Christine Batikian. I'm an environmental supervisor with LA Sanitation and Environment. I'm here today on behalf of LA San to request the board's authority to award task order solicitation S-051 to Larry Walker Associates for a total not to exceed budget of $1 million to support the implementation of the Comprehensive Plastics Reduction Program on an as-needed basis. The term for this TOS will extend from the notice to proceed through June 30th, 2029, and will be funded by the Citywide Recycling Trust Fund. To provide some background, over the last decade, the city has enacted 6 plastic source reduction ordinances to reduce the environmental and public health impacts of single-use plastics. In 2022, LA Sam launched the Comprehensive Plastics Reduction Program under council instruction to advance these efforts, including conducting the education, outreach, and enforcement of these ordinances. Most recently, on October 1st, 2024, City Council adopted the city's Comprehensive Plastics Reduction Strategy, supported by a certified program environmental impact report. This strategy includes over 15 potential source reduction measures and acts as a roadmap for City Council to reduce plastic pollution citywide. This TOS will provide essential technical and outreach services to implement that strategy, not only ensuring compliance with the California Environmental Quality Act, CEQA, but also ensuring that all local businesses and residents are informed of and have the tools to comply with current and future source reduction ordinances. Larry Walker Associates was selected through a competitive process for their strong technical expertise, deep understanding of the city's plastic reduction strategy, and proven track record conducting equitable, culturally responsive stakeholder outreach and engagement. Specifically, Larry Walker Associates will support on an as-needed basis environmental review and CEQA compliance for future plastic reduction ordinances, stakeholder outreach and community engagement on current and upcoming plastic reduction ordinances, and development of multilingual, audience-specific educational materials for businesses and the public. Larry Walker Associates, along with their diverse team of subconsultants, bring strong experience in equitable engagement, technical analysis, and environmental compliance. This TOS advances the city's zero waste goals, protects public health and the environment, and solidifies LA's leadership in the circular economy. Thank you very much for your consideration, and I'm happy to answer any questions.
Thank you very much. Commissioners, any questions or comments related to item number 11? I have a quick question. Can you walk me through again? From my understanding, this will be more of a tailored approach moving forward. So if you kind of walk us through that process.
Absolutely correct. So as I mentioned, the city currently has this strategy with over 15 potential measures that City Council can move forward on. Currently, we have received their instruction to move forward with 3 of those measures, but again, there's over 15, so at any moment they can ask to move forward with any one of those and move forward with receiving our recommendations on what a potential ordinance could look like, and then requesting the city's attorney to draft that ordinance. And once they do that, at that time, in order to move forward with that draft ordinance, we would need to conduct additional CEQA for those plastic reduction ordinances, and then as such move forward with education and outreach related to those ordinances.
All right, thank you very much. I'll move to approve item number 11. Is there a second?
Second.
Seconded by President Pro Tem Grant.
Thank you. We'll take the roll beginning with you once again, President Kang,
Aye.
Vice President Chavez,
Aye.
President Pro Tem Grant,
Aye.
Commissioner Mitchell. All ayes, the report is adopted and carries forthwith.
Thank you very much. Moving on to item number 12 for all council district request for authority award task order solicitation S-023 ACOM Technical Services.
Good morning. Good morning, President and the Vice President Commissioners. And I'm Charles Lee. Before the presentation, I'd like to mention there's a type error on page number 4 under the financial. I think the title is the financial. The status of financing. And line 2 is fiscal year 2045-25 should be 2024 and 25. I hope it's okay to amend the previous board report. Okay, on the page number 4, under the status of financing, the second line says the funding for fiscal year 2045-25 should be 2024-25. Yeah, the board report. Yeah.
Just chiming in to say, Mr. Charles Lee's provided revised copies to all of you, and so he's pointing out that there is a typo on page 4, and should the board consider the adoption of this report, it would be adopted as amended.
Okay. We like to get approval authorization to toss S-20 to AECOM, and with a budget of 1,650,000 and the contingency 150,000 with a term of 12 months with 3 months option extension. And go back to the background of this toss is a response to the Hyperion flood on July 11, 2021, and we have millions of gallons of water, untreated wastewater into the ocean, and LA SAM make a commitment to establish resilience and vulnerable mitigation program as following. And the ad hoc, this task is a response to ad hoc committee recommendation to hire the third party, the consulting service, to do the assessment and come out the report of finding and the recommendation of solution, and to prevent future happenings. And this task, the scope of the service has 4 tasks. The task number 1 is to do the assessment of the 3 critical process area, such as effluent pumping plants and headworks and centrifuges, and also look at the location of the PCM, the process control module. The install Honeywell DCS has a distributed control system located in different areas, especially in the EPP. They are located in the basement, so they got flooded. So it's damaged, and we're using existing training system to replace one by one. And right now it's restored. However, the condition is not in the good position in case in the future happening. We just want to make sure all the location is in the good place. And second task will be assess the condition of the UPS. UPS stands for uninterrupted power supply, and basically is the backup of the power to the PCM. So in case the outside did not provide the regular power, and we still have UPS to back up the PCM and make sure PCM is running for a short period of time. And the third task will be look into the installed Honeywell DCS performance and the configuration, and alarm management, graphic display effectiveness for monitor and the control, and also the existing configuration of the historian and also the PCM. See any area we can improve for the future. And the fourth one will be as needed basis. And the selection process, we send out all the 31 consultants through the RAM. And then we got the 2 response from the Cordoba and the AECOM. And then we got 29 denied negative response. And we have a panel review these 2 proposals, and based on the following criteria, each criteria has 20 points, and the personnel qualification, experience, expertise, consulting, qualification, personnel service, and also the expertise, technical approach, project manager approach, and the cost and the fees. And the reason we choose the AECOM because both are has very strong technical and the project management approach. But the AECOM has partnership with LA San and also DWP has a Pure Water Los Angeles program, and they have a lot future and fresh idea into this program. We hope they can bring a lot of value and asset to the city of Los Angeles. And so that's why we choose the AECOM. And as far as the budget concerned, and as we mentioned earlier, this task will not exceed 1,650,000, and it will be no impact on the general fund. And currently we have, in 24-25, we have 8,000, it's a dollar amount, my eyes is not good, is it's 825,000, I believe. And then basically the remaining will be budgeted under the fund numbers 761 sewer capital fund, and I think, and also the AECOM fulfill our requirement and put a lot of effort on the MBE, WBE, SBE, EBE, and DBB requirement. I think that's the end of my presentation. Any questions?
Commissioners, any questions or comments related to item number 12? All right, seeing none, is there a first and a second?
So move.
Second.
First by President Pro Tem Grant, seconded by Vice President Chavez, as amended. Yes.
Thank you. We'll take the roll beginning with you, President Kang.
Aye.
Vice President Chavez.
Aye.
President Pro Tem Grant.
Aye.
Commissioner Mitchell. All ayes, and the report is adopted as amended and carries forthwith.
Thank you very much. Moving on to item number 13 from the Bureau of Street Services for all council districts, request for amendment supplemental funding agreement.
Good morning, President Kang and Commissioner and City Attorney and the Bureau Rep. My name is Kenneth Tang. I am part of the Street LA Urban Transit Amenity Program, which include our sidewalk transit amenity program, which stands for STAP. I'm here today requesting a amendment to the board report that was submitted in December 6th to incorporate a specific funding instruction for the North San Fernando Valley BRT network improvement projects. Just a quick background on the project itself. The project aimed to improve, at the heart of it is improving equity, access, and environmental sustainability at the valley. It include installing and constructing 393 bus shelter at the hottest area in the city. And part of that, we receive $53 million and 55,000 from Metro through installment. The first year is 10 millions and subsequent years as proceed. So the amendment simply formalized the funding mechanism to allow us to move forward with the execution of it and allow us to pay Transito Vector, which is the contractor for the STAP program. So it's simply an amendment, administrative amendment to allow us to pay the contractor. The previous board report already sort of authorized us to receive funding and proceeding. So I'm here to answer any question you may have about this particular amendment.
Thank you very much. Commissioners, any questions or comments related to item number 13? 13. Yes, Vice President Chavez.
Quick question. All right, so will this work for LA Metro? Would this impact at all the city's own existing STAP program, all the work that's happening to getting all of our shelters up? Or is this separate?
It is part of the 3,450 shade structure and shelter that we plan to put out citywide. One positive thing about this alignment between our program and Metro, where we target equitable and high heat location. And in this case, I'd like to point out that the $53 million is becoming the capital investment into the city, and we can continue to benefit from the revenue generated by the advertisement that continue to pay for other locations in the city. So it is impacting, but again, it's a seed money to allow us to invest elsewhere, because our program does need that initial seed money.
Yes, I'm aware, and it's vitally important to in fast track the shelters, especially the ones that are generating advertising revenue, so that, like as you said, can help fund the remainder of the program, because right now we're dealing with a budget crisis in the city and can certainly use additional revenues, which will help obviously the city's general fund, but more immediately help build the remainder of the shelters, because as you stated, especially in the valley, it's life or death. You need shade if you're out there waiting for the bus, especially in heat wave such as this. This is our first major heat wave that we're experiencing. So, okay, so just want to make sure we are able to, this is not impacting timeline to deliver the high yield transit shelters, because again, that is the stepping stone to finish the rest of the program.
Yes. So again, I just want to mention that we are balancing. There are need in revenue to grow the program versus providing the shade and comfort and safety for a constituent. And this is a constant battle that we try to make sure we do both. And so as where possible, we'll try to get that location to align. Where it's not possible, we would make decision based on available funding. In this case, there are available in initial capital for us to invest, and at the same time also targeting a lot of these high heat locations and high rider.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. Any other questions or comments? Seeing none, I'll move to approve item number 13. Is there a second?
Second.
Seconded by Vice President Chavez.
Thank you. We'll take the roll beginning with you, President Kang,
Aye.
Vice President Chavez,
Aye.
President Pro Tem Grant,
Aye.
Commissioner Mitchell. All ayes, the report is adopted and carries forthwith.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Thank you very much. Moving on to item number 14 for all council districts, authority to change the funding source to contracts.
Good morning, President Kang, distinguished commissioners, executive officer, city attorney, and esteemed Board of Public Works representatives. My name is Ann Veal, contract administrator within the Urban Forestry Division of Streets LA. I'm here today to request the board approvals to correct the funding source for the Cool Pavement Neighborhood Cooling Project. Initially, on November 8, 2024, the board approved and awarded the Cool Pavement Neighborhood Cooling Project contract to two vendors, Creative Paving and Pavement Coating Company. At that time, the submitted funding source for the $5 million project was Fund 100, Department 86, Account 3040. However, it has since been determined that the correct funding sources are as follows: $4 million from Senate Bill 1, Fund 59V, Department 50, Appropriation Account 50, YVGH. $1 million from Senate Bill Fund 59, Senate Bill 1 from 59V, Department 50, Appropriation Account 50, AVHGH. Therefore, I am formally requesting approval to amend the funding source and to accurately reflect the actual allocations. This action is necessary to ensure the integrity of our financial records for the Cool Pavement contract. This concludes my presentation. I'll be happy to answer any questions you may have. Thank you for your time and consideration.
Thank you very much. Commissioners, any questions or comments? All right, seeing none, I'll move to approve item number 14. Is there a second?
Second.
Seconded by President Pro Tem Grant.
Thank you. We'll take the roll beginning with you, President Kang,
Aye.
Vice President Chavez,
Aye.
President Pro Tem Grant, Commissioner Mitchell. All ayes, the report is adopted and carries forthwith.
Thank you so much. Good afternoon.
Thank you very much. Moving on to item number 15 for Council District 8, Amendment number 2, 5 key schools and programs.
Good morning, President Kang, Vice President Chavez, President Pro Tem Grant, Commissioner Mitchell, and Executive Officer Mattson. My name is Kevin Gresham. I am the program manager overseeing the Homelessness Initiative program on behalf of the Board of Public Works. Today, I'm requesting that the board authorize the first of two renewal options for the contract between the Board of Public Works and 5 Keys Schools and Programs for services related to the mobile pit stop, mobile shower, and skid row cleaning programs. Upon approval of the 1-year renewal option, the contract will be amended to increase the overall contract authority for an additional year. Since this contract's execution back in July of 2024, the mobile pit stop program, which is overseen by the 5 Keys subcontractor Christ Center Ministries, or CCM, has had their ambassadors operate and maintain public restrooms at 16 different locations within the greater Los Angeles area. Utilization of these restrooms under the pit stop program has averaged 45,000 male and 42,000 female patrons each month, totaling approximately 957,000 patrons total. In addition to the oversight and maintenance of these facilities, the CCM ambassadors have helped to save approximately 20 lives through the use of first aid and other life-saving measures such as Narcan. During the same time frame, the mobile shower program, which is overseen by the 5 Key subcontractor Shower of Hope, has operated at 10 different locations within 7 council districts, all the while utilizing mobile shower trailers, which were loaned to the board office by the County of Los Angeles. On average, each month, 1,343 male and 390 female patrons have received showers and various hygiene products, with overall totals coming to approximately 19,110 patrons utilizing showers each month. Additionally, through May 2025, the Skid Row Clean Team has provided daily pressure washing services and the removal of nearly 700 separate instances of biohazards throughout the Skid Row area. The Skid Row Clean Team has disposed of approximately 300 hypodermic needles. They've also recorded approximately 900 instances of public fountains cleanings throughout the Skid Row area. They've also collected and disposed of nearly 6,000 bags of trash, which comes to approximately 45 tons. To date, all 3 of these programs have been successful in improving the overall cleanliness of the Skid Row and general citywide communities, as well as reducing public health risks attributed to public urination and public defecation. If the board approves this request, the overall services under this contract will not change moving into year 2. Also, there will be no fiscal impact on the general fund if approved, as these programs are all funded by the Homelessness Housing Assistance and Prevention Program Grant, or HAP grant, which, according to the CAO's office, these grant funds will continue to be allocated to the board office throughout the current fiscal year. The amendment number 2 language has previously been reviewed and approved by the city attorney's office, and all preliminary administrative requirements have also been completed. This concludes my report, and I'm open to any questions that you might have at this time. Thank you.
Thank you very much. We have a question from President Pro Tem Grant.
Thank you, Kevin, for your work. I know I've been working with you on this. It's just excellent, the amount of service and as well as saving lives. The question is really a point of information. The agenda says it's for CD8, and yet the transmittal says it's all council districts. I'm not sure how important that is, but I assume this is for all council districts, not just CD8.
Correct.
Thank you very much. Commissioner Mitchell. Commissioner Mitchell, do you mind turning on the mic?
Jeez. If I understood the briefing correctly, the actual contract expired 2 days before, and so we've exercised the extension.
Mm-hmm. Yes, the
So
contract
should-
expired as of June.
So are you asking us to approve the substance to hold on a second. So I think the ask should be amended accordingly, right?
I'm sorry, what was the question?
The request should be amended accordingly. In other words, we should be reaffirming the action that's already taken place with regard to exercise of the amendment.
Might I interject to add
Sure.
a comment? Elise Mattson, Executive Officer. So this contract, correct, it did expire. So I believe what we would need to do is ratify the contract once it is executed. The extension has not yet been executed, but 5 Keys, acting in good faith as our partner, is continuing services in anticipation of the contract moving forward.
Okay. So the extension has,
It has not been signed or executed yet by President Kang or the board.
okay,
We would just ratify it, effectively backdate it to July 1st.
okay.
Thank you very much. Can you remind me the total number that we serve on an annual basis? You mentioned that in your presentation.
The total number of, for which program?
For everything. For mobile pit stop, shower. You mentioned 950.
957,000 patrons for the mobile pit stop program and 19,100 patrons for the mobile shower program. And obviously the Skid Row just provides services, cleaning services.
Okay. Second number again, 17,000 you said?
The second number?
Yeah.
For the mobile shower program, that's 19,100
19,000. Okay.
patrons.
Okay. Got it. Thank you very much. Any other additional comments or questions? Seeing none, I'll move to approve item number 15. Is there a second?
Second.
Seconded by President Pro Tem Grant.
Thank you. We'll take the roll beginning with you, President Kang.
Aye.
Vice President Chavez.
Aye.
President Pro Tem Grant.
Aye.
Commissioner Mitchell.
Aye.
All ayes. The report is adopted and carries forthwith.
Thank you very much. Moving on to item number 16 for Council District 1, Contract Award, Tiny Home Village Homeless Shelter.
Good morning, President King, commissioners, and members of the board. My name is Amy Lin. I'm the project manager with Bureau of Engineering Architecture Division. This report is recommending the Board of Public Works to award 4EC Incorporated a contract for the CD1 Tiny Home Village Homeless Shelter, Cypress Park, 503 North San Fernando project for the amount of $4,993,700. Execute the contract and instruct Ford to submit their bonds and insurance. Background regarding this item: on July 31st, 2020, the board approved a motion to query the 17 contractors on the pre-qualified list for the municipal and related projects to assess and rank the firms on design build experience and construction on homeless shelters. As a result, a pre-qualified list was established with 7 contractors. This will be the 17th Tiny Home Village. The project will provide temporary emergency homeless shelters in the city of LA under Executive Directive number 24 pursuant to LAMC 1280. This project will be on the city-owned property and will include 16 state-approved modular residential units accommodating up to 64 individuals. Site amenities will include modular units equipped with restrooms, showers, and lavatories, cabin units designated for administrative offices and storage, a laundry station with an office and restroom, designated sitting area, and a pet relief area. The site will also feature a new retaining wall and also perimeter fencing with privacy slats. I do need to make a technical correction on the contract duration. The contract duration is 180 days. So the project has been reviewed for environmental consideration and was determined to be statutory exempt from California Environmental Quality Act under the Public Resource Code. On April 9th, a sole bid was received from 4EC for the amount of $4,993,700, which is about 5% higher than the city engineer estimate of $4,766,613. Based on the evaluation, staff finds the bid amount to be reasonable with unit price being balanced. The low bidder participation is believed to be due to the size of the project. It is believed that the advertising the project would be unlikely to attract additional or lower bids. Ford has worked on numerous projects issued by the board. No significant or unresolved problem in inspection, contract compliance, or bidder responsibility have been experienced by the Bureau of Contract Administration. Funding is available to cover the bid amount. Funds come from the Emergency Stabilization Bed Grant from the state and also from the Homeless Emergency Account. In view of the above findings, Bureau of Engineering recommends that the board declare Ford the sole bidder to be the lowest responsible bidder and award for the contract for this project. So with that, that concludes my presentation, and I'm happy to answer any questions.
Thank you very much. Commissioners, any questions or comments? All right, seeing none, I'll move to approve item number 16. Is there a second? Seconded by Commissioner Mitchell.
Thank you. We'll take the roll beginning with you, President Kang,
Aye.
Vice President Chavez,
Aye.
President Pro Tem Grant,
Aye.
Commissioner Mitchell. All ayes, and the report is adopted and carries forthwith.
Thank you very much. Moving on to item number 17 in Council District 12, contract award, the San Fernando Road widening at Balboa Road.
Good morning, Commissioners. My name is Kayla Pigi from the Bureau of Engineering. I am the project manager of the San Fernando Road Widening at Balboa Road project. This item is to award a construction contract for this project. The scope of work is to widen the west side of San Fernando Road to provide an additional southbound right turn lane at Balboa Road and reduce traffic congestion. The project will construct a new retaining wall, curb ramps, sidewalk, curb and gutter, street pavement, traffic signal, and striping enhancements and street lighting improvements. This project was first advertised and awarded to HYM Engineering on May 25th, 2022. Due to a dispute over unit price escalation with the contractor, it was in the city's best interest to cancel this contract, which was approved by the board on March 22nd, 2023. On November 1st, 2023, BOE re-advertised the project. The two bids received did not achieve the disadvantaged business enterprise or DBE goal or good faith effort, therefore all bids were rejected. The project was re-advertised for a second time on January 8th, 2025 with a contract duration of 365 calendar days. 4 bids were received from Taylor Jane Construction, Environmental Construction, Jilk Heavy Construction, and Clark Contracting Corporation. The project received 1 bid withdrawal. Environmental Construction withdrew their bid due to a clerical error in their unit price. In a letter dated February 18, 2025, Clark Contracting Corporation protested Taylor Jane's bid for reasons stated in the report. City staff acknowledged the letter and provided responses to each item, which were corrected by Taylor Jane. These corrections were considered clerical errors and have no impact on the bid results and award eligibility and responsiveness. Therefore, we recommend the communication from Clark Contracting Corporation to be unmerited and deem Taylor Jane's bid to be valid. The project is federally funded by the Congestion Mitigation and Air Quality Fund and City Local Proposition C funds. Additional funding comes from the Road Maintenance and Rehabilitation Special Fund, or Senate Bill 1, and Measure M Local Return through the Capital and Technology Improvement Expenditure Program, or CTIAP. BOE recommends awarding this construction contract to Taylor Jane Construction. The project is subject to the city's DBE program. The project was advertised with a DBE goal of 22%. Based on BCA's Office of Contract Compliance review of Taylor Jane's documents, the contractor pledged a DB commitment of 80.64%. Subject to the verification of all other bidding requirements, BOE recommends the board to issue a construction contract to the lowest responsible bidder, Taylor Jane Construction, with a bid amount of $2,776,747. Thank you for your time. I'm happy to take any questions.
Thank you very much. Commissioners, any questions or comments? I'm glad to see the project moving forward. I'll move to approve item number 17. Is there a second? Seconded by Commissioner Mitchell.
Thank you. We'll take the roll beginning with you, President Kang,
Aye.
Vice President Chavez,
Aye.
President Pro Tem Grant,
Aye.
Commissioner Mitchell. All ayes, the report is adopted, carries forthwith.
Thank you very much. Moving on to item number 18 for all council district, request for qualification, solid resources fleet, telematics, and service confirmation platform.
Good morning, President Kang, board members. LA Sanitation, Oscar Figueroa, requesting your authority to distribute an RFQ to create a list of participants in a telematics system. The list would set forth 3 vendors that can provide those services to not only sanitation, but any other bureaus or departments that may need it. Oh, it's falling off. The list would provide us with a short list of vendors that can provide telematic services for not only sanitation, but the other bureaus or departments as is needed. Telematics is needed by sanitation to allow us to modernize the monitoring and efficiency of our 800 vehicle refuse collection fleet. And the RFQ would set up that list. Any questions? I'll be short.
Thank you very much, Commissioners. Any questions or comments? All right. Seeing none, is there a first and a second?
I'll second that.
All right. First by Commissioner Mitchell, seconded by President Pro Tem Grant.
Thank you. We'll take the roll again, beginning with you, President King.
Aye.
Vice President Chavez.
Aye.
President Pro Tem Grant.
Aye.
Commissioner Mitchell. All ayes, the report is adopted and carries forthwith.
Thank you very much. Moving on to our oral report, item number 19, Small Business Academy Progress Update from the Bureau of Contract Administration.
Hi, good morning, Commissioners. Irene Gonzalez with the Bureau of Contract Administration with the Small Business Academy update. Some brief background on the program. The Small Business Academy was established to provide small firms with information about doing business with the City of LA through a series of comprehensive courses in a small classroom setting. The Small Business Academy's goals are also to enable more diverse participation in public works contracting opportunities and to provide a network of support and guidance. The Academy is set up as 2-hour classes weekly for 5 to 7 weeks with a focus on either construction services or personal and professional services. Each class is led by speakers from BCA, our fellow public works bureaus, POLA, LAWA, DWP, and other partners speaking to topics such as contract opportunities, proposal selection, best practices, compliance, and certification, just to name a few. Some stats. The first academy was in 2014, and since its inception, there have been a total of 248 graduates, 101 or 41% of that total being women-owned businesses, and 116 or 59% of that total being minority-owned businesses. Our next Small Business Academy will be a little bit of a revamp. Earlier this year, we sent out an LA 28 related call to action letter to over 27,000 businesses, which included a list from LA 28 of spend categories needed to plan and deliver the games, and a survey to get more information on interested businesses. In April, we hosted 2 introductory sessions for those who responded to reinforce our message to create a RAMP profile and or update their profiles to reflect their type of business. In addition to these efforts, we are continuing to work with LA 28 and the Mayor's Office to target local and small businesses for a Small Business Academy that will prepare them for city contracting opportunities that will make them more attractive for LA opportunities as they come up. Based on these discussions, we will work towards a curriculum that provides a readiness foundation given the information we have or given the information we get. That concludes my update. Happy to answer any questions.
Thank you very much. Questions or comments? Commissioner Mitchell?
I think it's very vitally important is business that we do as much outreach as we possibly can, and I commend BCA for doing that. Obviously, not only do we have all these international events coming up, but we also have a couple of things called the results of the Palisades fire, as well as this ongoing thing we have with regard to the ice and all those types of things where contractors are actually being approached on their job sites with regard to the workers. So I commend the BCA's efforts to involve local business contracting opportunities and expand the list of contractors that can actually participate in responding to our RFQs. So what I would like is to have a report in the future as to any future activities with regard to business outreach and when those are scheduled so that we can actually follow up and appear if we're available. Okay?
Okay, absolutely.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I also wanted to echo Commissioner Mitchell's remarks. There is a great deal of interest from our small business and just at-large business community related to participation of upcoming games and other opportunities at the city. And personally, I'm consistently being told, although I know outreaching is being conducted, but I think many folks feel that it's still very exclusive to a certain number of businesses, especially those that are more comfortable in the English language versus others. So as Commissioner Mitchell outlined in her remarks, I would love to receive periodic updates if these opportunities are happening, like the April meetings, for the board to be notified so that we can also alert the folks within our districts throughout the 15 council districts. And with that, are there any more sessions that are coming up for businesses to participate or to learn?
Not currently. The introductory sessions were just back in April, and so we're still having ongoing discussions with LA 28 and the mayor's office to see how we can continue to reach out to those interested businesses and to, again, outreach to even more, like you and Commissioner Mitchell are mentioning.
Okay. So once you have dates that are confirmed, please let us know so that we can help kind of disseminate that information as well.
Thank you.
Any other comments from our commissioners? All right, seeing none, thank you so much.
Thank you.
All right, Ms. Mattson, does that conclude our desk for today?
Yes, the desk has been cleared. Thank you, President King.
All right, thank you very much. Our next meeting will be on Friday, July 11, 2025 in Van Nuys. And the meeting is adjourned at 11:07 a.m.